A story can be driven by so many things. Goals, fear, dreams, and desires. But it's always moved by its heroes. So, what story shall we tell today?
Hello, and welcome to The Table Is Yours, a role-playing adventure game where a bunch of friends play Dungeons & Dragons around a table and a video call. Not sure if I said that in the right order. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I am your DM, your GM, Con Riley. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me anywhere at Kryles. It pops up as it will. And I have two fun facts this week. Fun fact number one is that this Wednesday, as of recording, will be when we launch our first episode.
Woohoo!
We are...
Yeah!
So this is our 14th session. We do record multiple episodes in a session, but we are finally releasing the first 2 episodes of our first full recorded session. We're releasing episode 1 and 2 this Wednesday. So that's really exciting, and hopefully by the time that this comes out, we have a pretty good following. I mean, more than 1 is a good following for me. More than us is a good following for me. Yeah. But
shit, I have to follow.
yeah. My other fun fact is we're doing our first contemporary artist, musical group, whatever, concert with Sarah Bareilles. I saw her during her Amidst the Chaos tour. That was my first, contemporary artist. I would have saw, actually, she was going to still be my first back in, sophomore year of high school, but I just didn't go. But I went to many orchestral concert, ballet, recital. I was a music major, so I did a lot of that. But my first, contemporary musical artist was Sarah Bareilles. But let's go around and meet our furry friends, starting with Lexi May.
No.
And we're back.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
It keeps happening.
Why is it always me? Hi, my name is Lexi May Hunter. I use she, her pronouns. I'm struggling yet again. Please help me. If you subscribe to my Patreon, I can afford help.
Our Patreon or your Patreon?
I'm gonna have my own Patreon just to help me. I
the Lexi tier.
The Lexi tier.
GoFundMe that's titled Help.
There's a tier, it says, get Lexi therapy, please.
But it will go straight to production.
Yeah, we are the therapy.
Anyway, I use she, her pronouns. I play the human ? Artificer. And you can find me Lexi May Help You on Be Real.
And Lexi May Hunter on Instagram.
And Lexi May Hunter on Instagram. I need to use Instagram. But my fun fact is my first contemporary, because I also went to the ballet and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. The opera! I did go to the opera too.
So did I.
But my first contemporary one, my mom took me to go see The Fray.
Oh, I knew that one,
Yeah, I went to go see that. Was my first one. I went to saw The Fray. I went and saw them on the Scars and Stories tour.
Nice.
Hello,
I am Andrew. I play Wash. Both our pronouns are he, him. You still will not be able to find me. First, I guess, concert I went to, the first one that I chose to go to was Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, pick it up.
Hi, my name is Sydney. I play Codex and Wash. All-around mess, chaos, both of our pronouns are she, her. The first concert I went to was, when I was very little, was the Cheetah Girls.
No way!
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
We went to the Cheetah Girls concert for my birthday, and the next concert that I went to was in high school, and I went to Warped Tour. So it was very, very large.
Hell yeah.
Switch.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yes. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I play Isabella Ballador, Tiefling Paladin Bard of the group. We both use she, her pronouns. And I went to see Little Big Town open for Sugarland at the Allentown Fair. My parents took me. I'm gonna dox myself. My parents took me to the Allentown Fair a night before a volleyball tournament. So, my volleyball coach let me skip one practice before the tournament to go see Sugarland.
Hi, my name is Vic. I use they, them pronouns. I play Terrence Astanis, and Terrence uses he, they pronouns. Resident Rap Week. My first concert was when I was 9 years old, and I went to go see Hilary Duff.
No way!
Oh. Yes.
I should have known I was...
what did you just say?
I should have known I was at least bi when I was younger because I listened to her album every day. I was in love with her. And when I went to this show, I was so nervous. Like, I sat in the chair and I was, like, singing quietly to myself. And then she, like, finally came out on stage and I, like, stood up and, like, was, like, crying. I, like, got really excited.
That was, like, me in the Sarah Bareilles concert. The moment she started playing the chorus to Love Song, I went, oh! And, like, I guess I was the only gay person there because, like, everybody just turned and, like, looked back. And I was like, okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Heather Alexandria Lore. I play Shay Erebos. I honestly can't remember my first concert. There were so many different, like, festivals I went to, and I was also in the theater and, like, dance world for so long, and, like, I can't remember. But one of the best concerts I've been to, out of the very few, was Lady Gaga.
Oh, I want to go so bad. I want to go so bad.
So good.
I was
my
so
first
sad.
ones in LA. It was great.
So you can follow us everywhere at TTIYDND on all our socials. We have Instagram, we got YouTube, we got Twitter, we got podcast places, we got Patreon. Please support our Patreon.
Yes,
you can subscribe to a multiple list of tiers that maybe will pop up on the screen because this is, again, as you know from what I said earlier, this is recorded way in advance of this time. But I'm sure we have a lot of cool different tiers. So, with that, let us get a recap on what happened last episode of The Table Is Yours.
What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
So, back at the Pale White Castle Keep, we were all obviously defeated by everything that happened with the Diamond, Issa, Wash, and Willow. We all split off with Issa, Wash, and One going upstairs to kind of drink away their problems. Meanwhile, Terrence was put in his bed, and Shay went to shop to get like magical gauntlets or something. Not too sure. I decided to go take a bath, but of course, in our creepy-ass haunted bathroom, something weird happened again. I heard this voice calling my name while I was trying to check over myself in the mirror, and of course I had to follow the sound to the front door, where I found a super undead guy outside who weirdly handed me a letter and just walked away. Little do they know I can't read. So I didn't really know what to do, so instead of reading it, I kind of just ambled around, made myself some food, when eventually, curiosity got the better of me, so I opened it and tried to read it, but I didn't have to. The script lit up in red text, and Balthazar's voice came out inviting me to, of all things, a party, a gathering, at one of his estates south of the keep for, the next night. I ended up showing it to Wash after he brought a very drunk One to her room, and while we both talked about if I should go, or if I should go alone, or if I shouldn't go, or if I should take people with me, we kind of just wanted to see what would happen if I just accepted, which made red mist pour out of the letter and a B get marked on my hand. I panicked and ran to tell Issa and Shay, but the red mist formed into a vision of Balthazar, who then charmed Wash and tried to use him as collateral to get me to come to his estate the next night. But I didn't need to agree, because in trying to argue for Wash to be left at the castle and I would just go, I also got charmed and then put to sleep by Issa and then slung over Wash's shoulder and carried out. I hope they stop Balthazar from taking both of us. Here's hoping.
Let's get right into it.
What'd you say?
Let's get right into it.
For some reason I heard Neuronima.
Another fun thing I want to mention before we get into this, before we go into the spooky, is you guys are all leveled up to 6.
Woohoo!
So, I know we already did that kind of like out of it during the break, but
Yes.
you guys are all leveled up to 6 now. Let us roll back time a bit to get to Wash and Codex as you go through this manor. I'm going to say for both of you under this sleep and charm, how long does sleep last?
1 full minute.
1 minute.
Yeah. So I would say at a point, Codex, make another wisdom check. Or sorry, wisdom save. I'm sorry. Make a wisdom.
It's a very cool and specific thing. I rolled a 6 for my last one. I rolled another 6.
The moment you wake up to like what's going on, but you're immediately charmed again, but still being held by Wash. So the fun thing is, what I can do with this is skip to where you guys are now when you get out of the charm. When you kind of like come to, the both of you, You're in this like small office-esque room in this manor, almost like a study. There is like a lit fireplace and this like long burgundy like wood desk that's like kind of like in the more shadowy parts of the room, not flickered by the light, and 2 walls of bookcases, not necessarily all filled with like full books, because you know sometimes bookcases they have like fake books to make it seem like it's full. But you can see some like scrolls here or there, and then you two are sitting on your backs are to the fireplace. The fireplace faces opposite side of the room of this desk, and on the other side of the desk, the person who is facing the fireplace is actual Balthazar sitting in a seat looking at the two of you. With his head in his hand and probably what looks like some type of red wine, I'm sure, in a glass.
I have a question. When we ran out of Wash This Room, I dropped my stir fry. Does anyone pick that up?
What the fuck?
Feeling rested?
No. Why the fuck are we here?
Well, it was an invitation for one, and I don't mean your armored companion, but then somebody kind of like glances over at Codex, does a little smile, nod of the head, decided to increase her +1 list. It was supposed to be +none. Things were getting elevated.
Codex just like looks over at Wash, look back to Balthazar, and she just has like this heavy accepting sigh, and she's just like, okay, since we're here, I have a question. Why me?
He kind of like leans forward a bit, and like a sneer kind of curls from his lips. That is a good question. Well, I can say that it started with you intriguing me when you approached me at the fundraiser for the artificers in the Polished Wall in the 9th.
That wasn't on purpose. I just wasn't looking where I was going, and I ran into you, and...
You called me, what was it, your arch-rival enemy?
Right, yeah. No, that... She, like, awkwardly looks over at Wash. That was... I think I was mixing you up with someone else at the time.
He just smiles and chuckles.
Yeah, no, I think I mixed you up with someone else because you both have very similar vibes, and that's on me. That's so yeah. It doesn't really answer fully my question because I'm not like really anyone.
Kind of like you see, like as he's holding the drink, he kind of like extends his pinky out to point to you as an acknowledgement of hearing what you said. Before we get to that, why do you think that person was me? What made you think that?
It kind of sounds silly now, but you both kind of sound the same, but it's the way your eyes do weird things in the dark. They have the reflective situation. It just struck me that it was kind of the same.
Or it wasn't the idea that there was a similarity between the rats consuming people's viscera and blood and storing them away, very similar to what you saw when you fought at, what was it, your father's warehouse?
I mean, now that you mention it, yeah, but at the time I wasn't that wasn't part of it. It was just.
I'm sure Cranar would think that it was a very high compliment for you to assume we were the same.
She'll just be like, I'm sorry, who?
Someone in my employment. A vampire as well. Actually, one of my spawn. Not in a childbearing way. In a, what would you say? Maybe that makes more sense. A thrall, if you will, that is now working my employment. I made him who he is today.
And he was the thing in the woods that I talked to.
Yes. So I already knew of the then becoming Fated Fates. Obviously, you didn't have a name until... What was that, after that? Or was that... No, it must have been after that, because you were announced at the... Or were you? No. Not till after the Polished Wall did you have a name, did you? Or was it before? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But, first interest there, then your approach to me during this fundraising gala, and then the static of your being reminds me of an old tale. That is T-A-L-E, not T-A-I-L.
Yeah, I assumed.
She's like, yeah, I know how to spell.
She, at the mention of static, her eyes kind of like dart over towards Wash again, and she looks very uncomfortable, and, she kind of just nervously laughs and is just like, yeah, what do you know about that stuff?
His head kind of like turns a little to the side. Now I know me saying this is going to sound like a redundant thing to repeat back, but so you'd like to speak with me and have me say what I know? Yes?
She like opens her mouth to answer and then like closes her mouth and her eyes like narrow a little bit and she's like, should I be hesitating here? Like,
This feels kind of like a trap. Can you rephrase that?
As they're bound.
I'm not trying to be your enemy. I know you're going to say something along the lines of everything you're doing is cryptic and strange and very dark and mysterious, and you seem like someone who's maybe in charge of an evil guild.
No, I was actually going to say you charmed us, so that's probably not the best thing.
I can't blame myself for you falling for smoke.
But you did... What? You did that, regardless of whether it was smoke or not.
And if you succeeded in dissuading my charm, I would have been just as intrigued and curious about it.
That's... Like, if I swung at someone in a bar and missed, it's not my fault. If I swung at someone at the bar and hit, it's not my fault because they got hit. That's what you're saying?
No. I'm saying you're an interesting group.
Sure, and that entails us being charmed and... Are we bound to the chairs? No. And questioned in your study?
You're a person who might want to find out information, yes. I mean, not necessarily from me, but in general, right? If you're curious about something. You're given a job, you want to know the details of that job, right? Something like that?
I mean, I guess. Can you ensure us that you're not going to fuck with our heads again?
In all honesty, no.
Are we all right to leave?
If you'd like to leave that door and walk into the rest of the manor, be my guest. I just ask you not to leave me as liable for what my pets might do.
Wash just like, oh my god. As he sighs and like kind of lowers his head like, this fucking blows. I wanted a nap.
I just want to sleep one day.
this is before we rested, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah, right before you rest,
night
of
before.
course. You've never rested in your entire life, you'll never do it again. This is the end of days for you.
I'm just checking. As Wash like sighs, she's probably going to subtle spell, cast message to Wash and be like, you hear sorry.
It's alright. Better this way than just one of us.
She just kind of gives like a little nod, and she'll just like, she'll just look back at Balthazar and be like, any information you have on whatever this magic is would be welcome.
Alright.
As long as it doesn't come with a price.
Ooh.
That is where the only way I give you information would come in. Tit for tat.
What do you want?
I'd like to study you.
her ears just immediately flatten out and like just drop, and she kind of looks a little. How?
Would you like safety outside of these doors?
I'm not going without her.
She's not going anywhere. She'll be right in this room.
I guess I will be too.
Then where's my tit for tat from you?
What do you want?
To study you.
Yeah, to study you.
Not much. Maybe some blood.
Why?
I'm not a bearer of secrets. Do you know enough about your friend, Codex? Dave, or as I know it's commonly known, Wash.
My cover's blown.
Shit.
Wait,
Good thing I have a backup cover. Wash.
Her ears are still probably pretty flat, and she kind of like she looks a little defensive, and she's just like, I know as much as he wants me to know about him.
Okay, then. Which of you would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. Kind of turns to Wash. Make a wisdom save.
Ooh. If we all become vampires, I think that's gonna be hilarious.
Oh my. That's a 7.
It's not a 1. though.
I know, I see the one on the side. Yeah, immediately you kind of see that. You see the eyes kind of flash green as yours flash green.
Wash, why don't you exit outside and mingle?
And Wash kind of like stands up, turns, goes to the door, and leaves.
What would you like to know? And if you are doing this, then we will be amicable friends, of which I will then study you, yes?
Yeah.
I'm currently already doing it, Codex, so it's not like necessarily your life's in danger.
Yeah, I kind of assumed. Okay,
We can be
I
friends.
guess anything.
a lot of people have said that to me over the last 4 days, and it has not worked out in a lot of those situations.
I'll be the friend that tells you what you want to know.
I don't want to be told what I want to know. I want to be told the truth. Tell me everything.
To my knowledge, yes, I will. Can you conjure something for me, so I can see it?
She'll just, like, hold up her hand and conjure Mage Hand, and it's probably, like a really rough and tumble looking alley cat, like, just pops up onto his desk.
Fascinating. Again.
Like the same spell?
Yes.
Or... Okay. And she'll cast... I think it's Rumble and Somatic. She'll do the Rumble and Somatic again and cast... The cat kind of, like, warps and twists, and there's almost like a crackling sound, as it kind of, like, twists in on itself, and then twists up into, like, a falcon sitting on his desk.
Again.
Yay again!
Do it again.
She'll cast it again, and the bird's wings kind of flap up for a second, and they just kind of crack, and as the magic kind of like twists in on itself, and it sounds almost like lightning and thunder, kind of, and then it'll turn into kind of like a relatively small Komodo dragon.
Oh, cute.
How did that? You are fascinating.
That's so you say.
No, not you.
Oh.
You.
Pointing at the magic.
Okay, so you're gonna have to start explaining.
Self-esteem plummeted.
Self-esteem plummeted.
I would say as he like points at the Komodo dragon and says that, it kind of probably, you know how like crocodiles can like hiss? It probably gives like a hiss like that out of like, kind of moves into like a more like, I'm warning you stance. And when she sees that, she kind of dismisses it.
You should be extinct.
Oh.
If I'm correct.
You're gonna have to start explaining.
This power, where did you get it from?
It's just always been here?
Does it travel out of you?
What do you mean?
If my assumption is correct of what this is, that should not be trapped in a body like yours. It should not be trapped in a body, plainly.
It doesn't like leave me. It's sometimes explodes or does something I don't want, but I've never noticed.
How is it that you are able to control something that is uncontrollable, such as that?
Balthazar, I don't know what you're talking about. She kind of like puts her hands down on his desk, like a little loud. It's just magic.
It's not just magic, it's a magical thing. A creature's a light term. Beast. Entity. You've always had this.
As far as I can remember.
He kind of just like stares at you very intently, and like kind of like is like almost like looking you up and down, and kind of like thinking and examining and working something in his brain before he says anything.
Somehow, you hold the possession of a hexaleap.
Okay. So, what the fuck is that?
They're raw, arcane, magical beings that were used in creation, if I'm correct. Takes a drink.
A big chug.
She kind of just like scrubs at her face with her hands and like sits back in her chair and is just like looking at the ceiling for a second. She's like leans back forward and she's like, what? Okay, there's a lot of question that I don't know what to ask because I don't.
I'll start. How about this? Do you make it look like that?
No, it's just what it looks like.
It just changes?
Yeah.
Right. From very locked away and secret or lost information about the annals of history, hexaleaps were used by the goddess of nature. They would evolve and change wherever they went to birth new types of creatures. After running through a meadow, a field, a desert, an ocean, they would create as they stepped and then disappear. Almost like an incantation of a spell. By the time it finished its incantation, it was done. Children of the earth and vine.
It's so if they were made to do like whatever this creation thing, and then we were done, they were done. I mean, I cast all the time.
Skipping a stone across a lake. It skips and causes ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples, and then it falls through and sinks. Imagine whatever plane of existence on the very soil beneath us it walked. It skipped and rippled, skipped and rippled, skipped and rippled, skipped and riddled, and pit her out. That was the purpose of a hexaleap. To create and create and create and then stop. It was not needed.
If this was like a science thing, he would literally try. The best way I can describe it for if anybody here is confused, it's like this genetic code that would just like make, and then stop. Mm-hmm. Like it's like it would like unravel like a spool of yarn. You throw it and it unravels until it's out. That was the point of a hexaleap. They're not ever meant to stay anywhere. Again, they're extinct. They weren't made to be creatures that lasted. A hexaleap wasn't even a creature itself. It was like a ghost, arcanic ghost of information made to create and then disappear. So the best way I can describe a hexaleap is like the little animals you see come out of Codex. It's transparent pink. Like that's what it is.
It would be used to like make a population of whatever creature.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What does it mean if I'm casting it, or it's casting or whatever, and it's still here?
It means you're born of buckets and buckets of blood.
Oh. And we're gonna move back to where we left off at last session. You guys are all having coffee, and you're like, "What the fuck is this on my hand?" Says Terrence.
What the fuck is this on my hand? What's on your hands? What's going on?
Oh, we're going to a party tonight.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it's Balthazar.
Yeah,
Again.
I assumed by the giant bee.
You know, those.
It's Barbie.
Yeah, it's Barbie.
We're going to Barbie's Playhouse.
Yeah, he actually already took Wash and Codex.
Took?
Yes. Well, they kind of.
You don't know this either. Okay.
There's more they went
Yeah.
with him.
And you didn't
Charmed
stop that?
There was no point.
I did try. I tried.
So now we're going? Why would we go?
To get them back.
Yes, we need to go get them back, and I feel the only way, since he charmed our friends and took them with, is to go there where he's actually in person and try to get them back somehow.
Terrence is kind of just sitting there, like, rubbing his temples, and this happened after we got back to the keep? How did we even get here? Can I just get maybe a quick rundown of what the fuck happened after I got slammed against a wall?
You got slammed against a wall, knocked out. People died.
People died!
Willow died. We walked 6 hours to get to the village that we wanted to get to, and then had to leave.
What happened to the diamond?
Oh, yeah. What did happen to the diamond, Issa?
Well, we wished the god behind the divine gate. So we didn't cut it though. We didn't cut the wire around the diamond. We just kind of wished it, and it kind of dissipated. And we think the scarred warlord is behind the divine gate, locked. We specifically wished for him to be locked behind the divine gate.
Okay, so at least that's over, sort of.
There's a very large creature that turned a bunch of beings into ribbons of bodies.
Familiar with the
nothing.
ribbons.
Yes, the entire village was ribboned.
Cool.
Yes, and that's why we had to leave.
And okay.
And now we're going to a party the next day.
And then we got here, and Balthazar showed up and took 2 of our counterparts. And the other 2?
The last we saw Rush, he was turning into a wolf and running after a creature that just looked like a man with very long, sharp hands, and is probably dead.
Oh god, I hit him pretty hard.
Yes.
And the other one.
Hal, he brought us back here, thankfully. He saved us all.
Okay.
And then Balthazar appeared in smoke.
And took
And
Wash
took
and
Codex and
Codex.
Wash.
And now we are all branded, and we have
Yes.
to go to another fucking party. I'm so sick of this shit.
Which
Maybe
brings...
you can dance with someone.
Fucking
Knock on the
fathers.
door.
Do you want me to get it?
No, I'll get it.
Yes.
I'm like walking. I'm like, I also don't think we should all go to the party because it control all of us.
I love it.
And I like rip the door open.
Hello, Connie. It's Casimir.
Good morning.
Have you rested well from your return?
A little hungover.
My sister would like to speak with you.
Me?
Well, all of you.
There's only 4 of us.
On the other side.
Your brother has the other 2.
Oh. That is unfortunate.
Yeah. I'll gather the troops. Everyone, we're all needed.
Who is it?
Oh, hey, I was just about to call you. Does your brother know we're dating? Does he think we're dating? Because if you could come as a +1 without raising suspicion at all to this party he just invited us to, that would probably be
I
helpful.
honestly have no idea what you are talking about.
Okay, so Balthazar kidnapped Codex and Wash last night, and then he branded all of us with this bee, and we have to go to a party.
You have to go?
That's what I'm
think
saying.
so.
Well,
I'm
it's
slightly
either that or
offended.
leave Wash and Codex there. They could potentially get out on their own, but
Yeah, but there's a chance that we all get charmed.
I'm a little worried about what these bees might do to us if we don't go.
Issa, extends her hand with the bee to Kaz, and she's like, do you know what this is going to do if we don't go to the party?
Kiss it.
Cash just goes, wing, 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 just wipes it off.
oh really?
No, it's a joke.
I don't know. It could have been a joke. Was it a joke?
It was a silly noise you made.
Yeah, I don't know how to read
I'm
this.
sorry for trying to be fun.
Real.
You guys act like I'm the most serious DM of all time.
It's true. You are.
No.
And then you all die.
Terrence is gonna rub the bee on his hand. Does it come off?
It doesn't when Terrence does it.
Okay, so what's a joke?
Grabs your hand. Kaz grabs your hand.
Yes.
Does it make that sound?
No.
Yeah.
He makes that sound while he does it.
Yeah, Kaz, dead face goes.
See, it's what you have to say for this for the verbal part of the spell.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lost language to time, even though he's only like 300 years old.
Shay hops down and just like offers her hand to him.
Rubs it right off to Shay. Would you like yours off?
I got. Wait, us not having this on, does that stop us from going to the party?
Probably.
If there was an office camera, Kaz would look at it. I thought you didn't want to go to the party.
I didn't want all of us to go.
Codex and Wash are already there.
We wanted to try to go get them, but I thought they all seemed, well, mostly Shay seemed more excited to go.
I feel like you chose the poor time to announce this concern. I can't just rebrand you with a B.
I don't know. I don't want to go. I just give my hand.
So now we can't go.
No, I bet if we go with the letter, we'll be fine. But for now, we don't
Yeah.
have the brand on our hands anymore.
Anyway,
Fiora would like to speak with you.
yes.
All right, let's go.
Okay, anyone have any other things? Any other concerns, wishes, wants? How are Rush and Willow?
Potentially both dead. Willow for sure.
Rush is still alive.
Maybe.
Well, Rush is still was alive when we left.
Correct.
Alright, well, I've tried calming her as much as I can. And then he kind of like walks out and you see this kind of blue carriage that waits for you all.
Excellent.
Before we get in the carriage, Issa wants to like grab Kaz's arm quick and do you have a way to check my head? Willow said there was a scar in my head from that god that was eating me from the inside out, and I know that we hopefully banished the god, but I just want to know if I'm still marked, scarred.
Unfortunately, the thing about undead and divine is we don't always play well with each other. So if it has to do anything with divinity, it's hard for me to see, my love.
Oh, okay. And she's like confused that he just said my love. She's like, okay,
Is that not what you're supposed to say? You just said we were in a relationship.
what? No, I think I just wanted to know if your brother thought we were dating, because then you could come as my +1 to the event without, raising suspicion that we're working for you and Fiora. Isn't your brother not supposed to know that?
Kind of like shrugs his shoulders, like,
Great question.
I'm like, that's the only reason I didn't call you last night when he was kidnapping Wash and Codex.
Okay. So are we now in a relationship? I don't follow.
No.
Okay.
No, but like. Oh my god, he's great.
Never mind. No, it's fine. No, but can you come to the party with us tonight?
When it comes to my brother, I think it's usually best to avoid. That is why you've never seen me at any of those galas or whatever that he is involved with, except the last time. But that was...
Yeah,
the auction was more of a request on Fiora's part, but I was not there at the gala.
Okay.
Alright, well, to the Naramon Society then. And kind of like steps in. It is, like...
It's the TARDIS.
Like coachless. There is nobody at the front. I don't know if that's the right term, but there's nobody driving at the front. It just kind of goes on by itself. Well, he tells the horses to go, and like the horses just do it. Like they know exactly where to go. All right. While you guys are making your way, Wash or Codex, who would like to start? Let's start with Wash. This is the next day, the complete next day. Wash, you wake up in. It seems like some type of like. Maybe like livestock hold. Oh god! Like there's hay around and bales and other things that like a trough. What?
It's just so dehumanizing.
Yeah. Well, I think he's not a human.
Yeah, right.
Human question? I'm gonna ask as a consensual thing. Can I?
Dehumanity more.
I don't care.
Okay.
Yes.
You wake up with literally a collar around your neck and a chain to the wall, as you're basically wearing just something like maybe like a loincloth. It's like a bit longer and looks, if you look down at it, it is more like, this is really weird, like red velvet, as if it's like part of some weird. You also have like these cuffs on as well. They're not connected, but they're also these red velvet cuffs. You notice those first, and then you notice a lot of cuts and matching holes places, and you feel very tired.
Wash instinctually reaches for a pack of cigarettes and realizes he's not wearing pants. Like, fuck.
You do like look around and see there are others like you of all genders and sizes.
Hey, does anyone know where the fuck this is?
They all seem very like husks of people that are like drained. There are other chains and other things that are like loose, and maybe there are other people that have been taken out. You're not sure. As you kind of like at a point with no response of other people, and I would say that the length of this chain that goes to your neck from the back is probably 4 feet. From the wall of like just what looks like iron bars that look into like something. As you start to hear like ding, 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 across of like somebody like pulling their hands across, as this like woman in a very like beautiful white gown kind of like walks, tracing her fingers along the bars. She has this like magnificent tangerine orange hair, and these purple eyes, and the most beautiful lush red lips. Wow. Good morning.
Hey, is it cool if I leave now? It seems Balthazar already got what he wanted.
Oh, Balthazar never came down here.
So what the fuck is this about? Gesturing to the cuts and holes.
She kind of like turns into smoke and phases through the bars in front of you and kind of grabs your chin. You just are delicious.
Listen, I said he could have some blood, not anyone else. What the fuck? I'd like to see Balthazar if that's okay.
Darling, I don't know if Balthazar's ready.
I don't give a I'd like to see him now.
Your blood is just heavenly.
Yes, and you're a weird walking corpse. That's great.
There's not much difference between you and I. Really.
Well,
And she's like
I'm not
she's like
told to the
really close to your face.
If I didn't know that I was very weak, I would try to attack.
You can still try.
I'm going to fail horribly if I attempt.
Maybe she'll let you get a little.
The stronger man accepts when he's out of his league.
Right.
When he's been
correct.
more or less crippled.
Terrence.
I'm the strongest one on that team, clearly.
So you gonna take me to him or no?
She kind of like curls her lips and like bites her bottom lip. I just think as she like kind of gets into your ear.
Mid conversation, I'm gonna headbutt her.
Okay, roll a hit.
I just think, yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, yeah.
15.
Yeah, as you like try to move to hit her, you just miss too.
Does the chain like catch?
Yeah,
so
the chain catches your neck. Oh, now. And you just hear like as she's like kind of playing with her food, you hear someone go Celia, and she kind of like.
Wash is gonna whistle and say, "Go on, get."
Oh. Like you see her, like she kind of like traces down your chest, like she kind of like touches the collar around your neck and traces down to your chest, and like as she gets like right near to like the bottom of the last rib, she like, and you just watch as she like from her hand, it seems like this like basin, like a small basin appears like a bowl almost, that she catches your blood as it just is falling out. She just carries it. She walks out. Toodaloo.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Maybe I will. And she like she like dips her finger in your basin of blood and like puts it on her tongue. Yeah, as she walks out with the basin, one will be like, "That was very bold of you."
They can take whatever they want from us, just not our, I don't know, will to live.
Our
To fight
spirit,
back.
Codex. You wake up in a very strange place. It looks like a long dining hall, of which you're sitting at one of the ends. Looking down, you are not strapped or barred anywhere, but you are wearing what looks like this very, very wine red dress.
Hell yeah.
Velvet to the touch, necklace, like a gold necklace on you, rings and, lavaliers and bracelets. Where the braids you have that kind of tassel down, they hang something that would like be akin to what they're not earrings, not like just hanging earrings from your braids, but they're like hanging something that looks like jewelry that falls from where you have them in that wrapping.
Cute.
And you kind of like wake up, like you probably like wake up so ungracefully, like you're like.
Oh, absolutely. She's like drooling. She's taking stock, I guess. Does she still have her necklace on though? The circlet? Okay, cool. She just like touches it and it's just like, okay. And then immediately looks around and it's just like...
You feel, when you're like looking around, like you're kind of looking around, then you feel like a hand on your shoulder as Balthazar appears and then kind of says, "Are you ready for a meal?"
I mean, the second he touches her, she almost jumps out of her fucking skin and like, and it's just like, is there any food on the
Not yet.
And she kind of like turns very awkwardly, ungraceful, and just kind of like turns and look up at him, and she's just kind of like, yes. Where's Wash?
His brow does like furrow. Now that I think of it, I don't actually know. Hopefully he's fine.
She like kind of like pushes her chair back and gets up, and if he's too close, she will like hit him with the chair. But she kind of like shoves the chair back and is just like, that wasn't part of the deal. You're gonna make sure he's fine.
Very well. Bryson. And you watch like someone walk in. He's like this, like kind of like very dark skinned but paled, dark-skinned elf that walks in, who has very short, like buzz-cut hair, wearing very lavish black, almost like a tailcoat. Which now that you're looking at Balthazar, he looks like he's dressed for a fancy dinner. You don't know what time it is though. You watch as Balthazar looks at this person he calls Bryson. Find the Azamar, make sure he's safe and unharmed. I do believe it is a little late for that, sir. What do you mean? How do you think Celia has found him? And you do see his like jaw kind of like gets clenched, like Balthazar's jaw gets a little clenched and like agitated. It was supposed to be one basin, that was it. I'll make sure she's reprimanded then. And then he just kind of, like, Balthazar just kind of like gestures his hand as this person walks off.
She is like watching him go, and she looks over at Balthazar and she's like, what does that mean? Who's Celia?
Celia is in charge of cattle.
Her like eyes kind of narrow a little bit, and she like, you know how like you can move your you can move your jaw side to side and it kind of pops. You do out of frustration. She kind of does that, and her jaw just kind of pops, and she just clamps her mouth shut. And then she kind of like hikes up her dress skirt and starts to march out of the hall to go look for him.
As you like start to walk and hike up your skirt, he grabs your wrist.
If he does that, she's gonna turn and cast Shock and Grasp.
Do I have to roll something, or you roll something?
I believe I need to make a melee spell attack. So yeah, if he turns and grabs her, she just turns and grabs onto his arm, and immediately just, it's verbal and somatic, so he hears her speak some kind of command word. Oof, it's not good. It's a nat 1.
Yeah.
That's not even not good.
Is that a spell?
No, it's a cantrip.
An attempt was made. It's not a spell.
Damn, I really
Yeah,
wish
so
it
you
was.
try to like, and Balthazar just. Codex, really?
Yeah, really. And she like shoves him.
Sit.
No. And she's gonna turn again.
Do you want me to help you understand what you are? Yes or no?
I want you to make sure that Wash is okay. And is in
Bryson will make sure your friend is alright. Celia will be dealt with. I can fully and honestly tell you he was supposed to be fine. Blood was promised, as he said, but it was only going to be a single basin. He was then just supposed to remain and sleep. I give you my word.
I mean, you gave Wash your word.
Oh. It was a mistake. Are you new to them?
No, I thought you were like fully in charge here.
Tennis match.
I'm just imagining the meme of the guy going like, and everyone's like, oh.
He kind of just like, he's about to say something and just kind of sucks it in and nods.
The second he does that, she gets a smile, like a little bit of a shit-eating grin. And she kind of like lets go of the dress, so the skirts kind of fall to the floor. And she kind of clasps her hands in front of her, like in the mimicry of like what she's seen proper ladies do, I guess. And she just kind of like looks at him and she's like, I will sit down and answer any of your questions if you bring Wash here. And I can see that he's okay.
Fine. Kraina! And you watch as in walks this kind of pale, also elven-looking vampire. Very large, like short, not short, but like short black hair that kind of like goes out a bit. And he has just this mustache. He doesn't have a beard. His eyes are pure white. And he is like creepily handsome. That's the best way I can say it. Like he is like, he looks younger than Balthazar. In look, obviously they're both probably very old, and you could assume Balthazar is the true vampire, and you can assume the rest are obviously spawned. But this one looks like he was turned at like mid-20s. Fetch the Azuma. Codex, please sit. You watch as Kranar like nods and then just like quickly leaves, and he has almost like unblinking wide eyes that look at you and then walks out.
Yeesh.
As he looks at her, she gives him like a little knowing nod, and then she like glares at Balthazar, but does go and sit down.
Valentine, bring in our guests. At that point, you watch as another fair-skinned, long blonde-haired vampire walks in, and a myriad of Bergians walk in behind him, all fancily dressed, and all with letters in their pockets. But you kind of watch as he has like this snide look in his face and like kind of like dark, like this dark red mauve kind of eyes, as just like all of these excited people are walking in the manor and sitting down and they're talking about like dinner and all these other things. They're like, woo! But they're like so fancy. Wow, oh my gosh. Wash, you get walked in with the same darker skinned but paled vampire I was describing before walks in to get you and grabs another scantily clad woman and then a scantily clad kind of androgynous looking person and grabs you all by the chain of the neck and starts to bring you up unless you contest.
I'm going to be a complete ass about it and try to like make them struggle as much as I can.
If you struggle more, the rabbit dies.
Is he lying?
You can roll insight.
I have a feeling.
Do it at your struggle. They won't kill me.
For insight, that's 17.
No. He is being completely forthright.
Oh yeah, I immediately like stop.
The girl next to you, she's a little shorter. She looks like 4'3". She's not very tall. You're just gonna stand there? Or just to be looked at? That's all, okay?
All right.
Yeah, so you get let in. At a point when you're walking up, there is this other, like, you see Bryson take charge of the other two as this one with really strange white eyes. It's very scary to look at, but also like, kind of handsome. Charmingly handsome, but scary. Kind of like grabs your hand.
I'm gonna try to, like, get out of
No,
that.
play nice.
I'd rather not.
Well, this is the final feast we're going to.
So what, you're not gonna eat anymore?
Oh no. Not the final feast for us. For the attendants.
Right.
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 If you'd like her to have more than one feast, I suggest you play nice, pretty boy.
Yeah, Wash just has, like, an annoyed, kind of, like, disturbed expression on his face and just lets him take his hand.
Yeah, so as you guys get outside of what you assume must be this dining hall, each of your collars are completely unclamped. You're still wearing your sexy clothes, but unclamped
Lack
as they were
thereof.
led in. When you get let in, it is a very long table full of a lot of people that don't look like vampires. Codex at the end of one table. At this, her exact right is where Balthazar is sitting. But at this point, when they walk in, you do see that they do cast this minor illusion that makes all the vampires look like they're wearing like servant clothes. And as they walk you in, and you see from the other side being walked in is ushered in this like these string players that start like orchestrating this lovely dinner. They are led in by your lovely female friend who took blood from you. And you do see Codex. Codex, you do see Wash. When he walks in, he looks perfectly fine, just in very bare.
A loincloth and
Right.
bracers.
The minor illusion, the illusion will go over all of you.
When she sees him, her ears are gonna droop a little bit. Like, I would say unless she's attentive, her ears are high, but they're drooped. She's gonna relax a little bit, and she's going to subtle spell message Wash and just be like, "Are you okay?"
I've been better. Are you alright?
I don't really want to cast again to reply to you, and I don't want to subtle spell again at least. So she'll has her eyes locked with you, and as she messages you, and you just see her kind of give, like, ever faintly, like, bobble her head back and forth, like a, eh.
All right. We're going to skip back over to our other forms.
Yeah, we're all gonna get yelled at. Woohoo!
You get let in the same way where Casimir's like, okay, so we're going to have to, do the same thing when you can't see how to get in and all that good stuff.
Yes, continue. Go ahead.
Yes, my body is your communion.
Then he pulls out his goes around and goes,
Take me with you.
You wanted to come.
It's a joke. I'm joking.
Um,
Someone thinks I'm funny.
but he leads you in, and, the whole, like, where are we? As you kind of, like, blink, and then you're suddenly inside that long, white, like, lab, like, study-esque, huge circular room where Fiara is sitting at that, like, the very isolated middle desk. Good to see you all again, I guess.
and you?
Well, all is a loose term. Where are Codex and Wash?
With your brother. The other one.
Do you do that?
Yeah, Terrence puts a forehead to his hand. He face palms quite like.
She, like, her mouth, like, opens, and she's like, we'll get to that. Rush and Willow, how are they?
Well, I'm only going to be the bearer of terrible news for you today, aren't I?
I'll do this one.
Excellent.
Presumably dead and dead.
Yes.
She, like, it doesn't hit her like a brick, but, like, you see it, there is a change in face, and it hits her.
Rush was alive when we left.
That's the presumable part.
How did Willow die?
So we found another diamond.
Think it found us.
Where is it?
Used.
Sister, Casimir says. What do you mean used? The vibes are rented, but at least Codex and Wash get to have a nice dinner. Not Wash, but Codex and Wash.
The scarred warlord was controlling our dear friend here and ended up killing one of us. And so we used the diamond to put it away.
Put what away?
Him. the Scarlet.
So you found out nothing? No progress!
Our mission was to find out information about the monster that was ripping people.
I know what your mission originally was, but
you
you've always been told to look for the diamonds!
So we locked him away behind the Divine Gate.
And that would know we're closer to what we need to know!
I'd rather not take our chances with the scarred warlord.
After it already killed someone. 2 people, technically.
Because at least we can come back and tell you what happened. I couldn't tell you. We wouldn't be here to tell
Who
you
used
that.
the diamond?
I turn.
All of us look at Issa.
Me.
She like sits there, she kind of like looks up, breathes, rolls her eyes maybe. As she's like about to say something, Kaz kind of like jumps in. Fiora, remember, there is always something to learn. So we can still learn from whatever Isabella did. She sighs. Fine. What happened? How did you use it?
I wished that Othamir be locked behind the Divine Gate. And then it dissipated. I kind of have a little smirk on my face. But we have more diamonds to find, and, you know, if this theory is true, then perhaps we can unlock the Divine Gate with a wish.
Kaz kind of like, again, before she even has the chance to consume all of what you just said and say something. Also, if our theory is correct about potentially the wishes being associated with what kind of god they are, I think it might have been in our best interest to not use a wish that could be turned for violence or hatred. Don't you? Yes, I suppose. But it means we don't know if that is or is not part of the parameters of this theory. But I understand, I guess. I guess it's fair that I wouldn't ask you to use a wish and see if violence or hatred would pour out of it with whatever you say. And then Casimir goes, and then she goes, and? Like, she stops him, like...
Yes.
You say you used it and you didn't cut the wire first.
Yeah, we didn't cut the wire.
Okay. No, that's knowledge. I guess I can't argue with that. I apologize for raising my voice, but I will say it is mostly due to the fact that one of my very good friends is dead.
You can blame the diamond for that.
What did it do?
I have no idea. I think she was protecting us, and more specifically Rush, and then she just disappeared.
It had an aura around it that made, I think, everyone a little irrational, angry. Obviously, the presence of the Scarred Warlord affected everyone.
Not everyone.
Fiora, it's my fault about the diamond and everyone being angry because it latched onto me, it latched onto me first, and then...
Wait. An aura of anger is what you were saying caused this. That's impossible.
Well, it had like an aura of some sort of divine energy around it.
And you're saying Russian Willow fell for that?
No.
We couldn't get to...
We
the
were
diamond.
affected. They weren't with us at first.
I don't think I was affected.
So then how would the diamond destroy them?
Rush came in and took the diamond.
From Issa, when she was trying to break the chain while she was under its thrall.
And then Willow came up to try and do something. I don't remember what happened after that.
They're not amateurs. The Ill Claws are not trained to be amateurs. It's literally almost impossible for them to be, I think fully impossible, I don't even know, to make anything change their emotions like that without them changing it. And the two of them have powers to balance out effects like that. They're supposed to be very diligent, trained people.
I apologize. I think I said it in a confusing way. It was affecting us, and they came in to help us.
Even though we asked them to stay behind, but they saved us.
So then I'm supposed to assume from that us was Willow's demise, not them.
I don't know what happened to Willow.
The two of them especially, they're very close. Were very close. Raised like siblings. They have this way of using their energies to null effects like that. Charms. Distortions of mood. Did you disturb it?
Disturb what?
Their nulling abilities?
I think so. He's like looking at the ground.
So you murdered Willow?
No, I didn't. I had no control. I was the effects of the diamond.
Nobody murdered Willow. Willow actively made that choice to do that. We didn't even know Willow could do that.
Why? Why would she do that?
She was trying to save Rush.
I thought you said Rush had the diamond in his mouth.
I was fighting Rush.
Because of the effect of the diamond. It took over and infused everyone's minds with anger, I think. I didn't experience it, but it seemed to be.
I shot Issa.
After she
chopped
killed
Wash in
Wash.
half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, not of their own doing, is the effects of this god warlord and the diamond that contained him. His energy was seeping out, it seemed.
She kind of closes her eyes and just sighs.
Also, as like a little like flavor thing, because we said that this was happening with Terry. I think Terrence is punching his own legs.
Yes.
Like that sort of thing is coming through him right now.
Well, then it was a terrible loss. And of Rush?
We then traveled to
Carpeted.
Carpeted, and the thing was there.
The beast.
The beast. And we had just, ravaged ourselves up. We were in no place to stay longer than 3 seconds. So Hal, I don't know if you know Hal.
Who's Hal?
A friend of mine.
A friend of Shay's.
Back in the day. He's a good one.
Kaz. And Kaz just nods and walks out.
Oh no.
And so we hopped on out of there because our job was just to get you information.
What did Rush do?
He protected us. To be noted, everyone in Carpeted had been destroyed by the beast.
He's such a fool. Fuck. Fuck! And she just kind of like slams on the table. I apologize.
For? You're upset.
They were your friends.
Sorry you lost a friend.
Thank you for trying. Sorry for the danger. Sorry for my own outburst. It's not your fault. And the wish seemed to work.
Yes.
To our knowledge.
Okay. So we know that they can be wished behind the Divine Gate, and we know they can be tied to someone. That is better than nothing, I assume. With the beast, what did you see?
We all look at Issa again.
I look at you because you said something this morning. I'm like,
It chopped a building down with its claws. The claws just came out and sliced a building in 4.
And based on Rush's reaction, I think it's safe to assume.
There were also flowers growing underneath, like ribbons of flesh
That's true.
that were in Carpeted.
It seemed the bodies that fell that had no blood. Also, I don't know, there was different golden flowers underneath each of them. It seems too specific and bright to have been there before they fell.
I'm glad you're all safe, and hopefully the same for Codex and Wash. If they're with my brother, he carries his den with him very close, so who's to say?
he invited us to a party, apparently.
I wouldn't go if I was you.
Told you. He's going like, well,
I'm fine with that, but I do want to check on Codex and Wash.
Yeah.
Do you want my help? She kind of like looks up to like the top of this room, like kind of rolls her eyes, and then you can tell she's rolling her eyes at the idea that she's saying that not you guys. It doesn't feel directed towards y'all. Do you want my help?
Yes.
With what situation?
Codex, Wash, Balthazar.
Yes.
I'm the only one that can probably have his ear for a moment. I feel I at least owe you that.
We will absolutely take your help.
How can you help us?
Balthazar. Casimir won't help you with Balthazar because Casimir's afraid of Balthazar. I'm not. Even before we all turned, and by that point she's kind of stepping up and like walking to like have you follow her. Balthazar wasn't the nicest person to our younger brother.
Shocking.
How so?
Casimir was never enough for Balthazar.
Big boy.
Neither was I, but I was old enough to talk back, so Casimir wasn't, and I can't blame him for that. But maybe scared is the wrong term. He's hesitant around Balthazar. Just take me to where Balthazar is, and I will end whatever's going on. And I can promise your protection. I think. And that is the first time you do see her go like, can I actually? Like,
I hope I can.
the bowl of the Naramon Society. I can protect you. Maybe?
Yeah. That's promising. Rose like, oh, you know what?
This is a different side of Fiora. This is a hugely different side of Fiora.
This makes me trust her more, to be honest.
Right.
It's a shame I missed out on seeing.
Yeah.
You guys have all your weapons on you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
All right. Well then, lead the way. Shouldn't be too far. Actually, from the Naramon Society, it's probably like 30-minute walk. It's not very far.
Great. Yeah. There we go.
Before they leave, Terrence wants, like, as everyone's leaving, if she, like, kind of waits for everyone else to, like, lead the way, I want him to, like, he's, like, gonna take, like, a really deep breath and go up to her and be like, I am very sorry for my involvement in the passing of your friend. I didn't have control of myself, and I very much apologize. Oh. If I could change what happened, I would.
Seems you have a lot of times that you don't feel like you have your agency, in which a lot of people get killed. Duly noted. And she kind of walks, but if you left, like, say, the back where she was letting everyone go forward, she kind of, like, walks forward of you to whoever's next closest to the back.
If he took a deep breath before saying that, he lets out the rest of the air that he took and just kind of hangs his head and walks forward.
Yeah. All right. After, like, let's say 30 minutes to an hour of, like, just like other people were like, oh my god, this is so fancy, this is so fun. Wow. I didn't know this is also kind of like a brothel. Look at that guy. Stuff like that. Balthazar probably like gets up and my friends, I thank you all for coming tonight to a very impromptu dinner. Are you eating, Codex, at all? This entire time are you eating? There is food that comes around you. There's all sorts of things.
There are no...
No, I think she's so angry and uncomfortable and also distracted by, like, she's just trying to come up with a plan in her head. Between all of those things happening, she's just, like, she has to pass anything. She's just, like... She's not even drinking. She's just kind of like handing stuff off and just staring.
Okay. Have we all eaten well? And just like, well, thank you, yeah, delicious. Like, kind of like a like not roaring, but like kind of like a collective, like, yeah, thank you. Like, lovely host, we love you. I don't know if they all sound like that, but. Love you, Balthazar. Shit. Good. I like when my guests are treated well, fed well, and bleed well. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Murmurs.
Yeah, murmurs. He looks at you, Codex, winks. The weirdest wink of your life. It is like this, like, it's not like he's what he's doing. Like, it's so unsettling. The way he does it is almost like this, like, he, like, looks at you, has this little smirk, and it's not like a wink, it's like this, like, just, like, wink. As he, like, smirks and then looks back. You don't know what each of you have. You see Celia kind of, like, lift her hands as this kind of, like, red arcane starts to, like, go along all the doors, and you hear this kind of, like this arcanic lock almost sound, and people are starting to get up. There is magic in your blood. And I would love to make a wish. As you watch as, like, the vampires that are in that room, including the little, like, string quartet, also vampires, as they just, like, go in for the kills. You just sit there as you're watching like people running and screaming, and you just sit there. Wash, you're just sitting there. Everybody else that is not you two and the 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 because the string quartet and then Balthazar, 9 vampires like are being like slaughtered in front of you, and that is where we're gonna end today's episode.
Oh God!